My name is Melissa Murphy. Welcome to Tail-Ling Hills Farm Greenhouse. We are a family-owned and operated greenhouse located just east of Estevan, northwest of Bienfait in southeast Saskatchewan. So Tail-Ling Hills Farm was started a few years ago. We started by doing just some petting zoos because we would have people drive by and be interested in the animals. So we started doing a few local traveling petting zoos, and then we started a greenhouse. This will be our 5th season. So we start growing our plants in March, and we open for our customers to come shopping the end of April, and we operate and run until about the end of June each year. So we grow annuals, vegetables, perennials. We also bring in pond plants for those around Estevan that have ponds. We also bring in locally sourced trees and shrubs, and we supply people in southeast Saskatchewan with wonderful home-grown, locally grown plants. From the time I was a little girl, I always had a dream of owning a greenhouse. I used to garden with my grandparents all the time, and my husband, with his family, they used to plant a huge garden every year in Winnipeg and grow a lot of their own food. So my husband and I were married 20 years ago, and when we were first married, one of the things we enjoyed doing was going to greenhouses. We loved planting our yard. And so when we moved out to southeast Saskatchewan, my husband decided that it would be kind of fun to get a greenhouse frame, so we slowly started building it. And then 5 years ago, we just decided to jump into it and try our first season, and we've just expanded from there. All right, so when we started our farm, we wanted to come up with a name that not only represented the area that we are, but also our animals that we have here. So we live very, very close to the Tail-Ling Hills in southeast Saskatchewan. The coal has been a big part of our history. So we wanted to include Tail-Ling Hills in the name, but we also have animals. So Tail is for the tails on the animals, and then ling, a lot of the babies have duckling, gosling, they have lings at the end, so we wanted to include that. And then we included maple leaf instead of the dash because we are Canadian owned, and that's how we came up with our name. So currently what we would have is we have baby sheep and goats. We have chickens, we have ducks and geese, we have mini horses. We have had a Jersey cow in the past, but we no longer have her. So we have a wide range of different animals. I think the kids are super excited, but also a lot of the adults love coming and seeing the animals. A lot of people that grow up in the city don't get to experience seeing a chicken or seeing a goat. And so just overall, it's exciting to get to interact with them, and just the smiles, and then the privilege of being able to teach people about animals is something that we really, really enjoy. On our Facebook page, Tail-Ling Hills Farm, we will post when we have openings to come and visit the animals. We ask that people don't just stop in to see the animals, just due to the safety of our animals and also the safety of our customers. We don't want them to get hurt or our animals to get hurt. So please call ahead. So one of the things we like to do at Tail-Ling Hills Farm is help our customers, especially our customers that are just starting gardening. So when you're planting a pot and you come in, one of the first things we're going to ask you is where your plant and your pot are going to be located. Are they in the sun? Are they in the shade? How much wind do they get? Different questions like that. Because all of those conditions, your lighting, your weather, your wind, will affect how a plant's going to grow. So the next question we're going to ask you is you want to plant plants that are similar watering requirements. So for example, a plant like Calibrachoa is a low water. They like to dry down between their watering. They like to be fertilized. So you wouldn't want to plant something like a Calibrachoa with a high needs plant, one that needs lots of water, something like a petunia. So if I was planting a Calibrachoa, I would choose things like our lantanas that can handle a little bit drier soil. Our impomeas are a sweet potato vine. They like to be added as a trailer on the front. They can handle our lower water requirements. So when planting our pots, we like to help our customers choose the best plants so that they have the best success when growing over the summer. So at Tail-Ling Hills Farm, we have a wide selection of different types of petunias. So one of the questions we quite often get asked by our customers is that they either want something that's upright, that's going to stay and not trail, or they want a petunia that is going to trail over their pots. So petunias, they have two different types of habits. This petunia here, for example, is a upright and it's a mounding petunia. So it's going to, when it gets planted in the ground, it's going to grow more into a big bush versus trailing over. Whereas a plant like this, you can tell already that it's sending off little runners that are longer, and it's going to start and then it's going to go over your pot. So at Tail-Ling Hills Farm, we can help you find the best petunia for the pots that you are growing. So we often get customers that say, oh, our petunias get really leggy midsummer. So what we always try and teach our customers is how to properly look after their petunias. The first thing you want to know how to do is how to deadhead. So when a flower dies, it's going to look like this. Most of our customers, they like to just pull out the dead flower. So what happens when you do that is you leave this part on your plant and it produces a seed pod. After a plant produces so many seed pods, it thinks it's done for the summer. That's where you're going to end up with a leggy plant. So what you want to do is after a plant has, like its flower has died, you're actually going to take and you're going to pinch back or get a good pair of scissors and you're going to go all the way back to the stem and you're going to take this entire piece off. And then also what we tell our customers to do is before you plant your petunia, what you want to do is you want to take and trim it back to where the stem kind of meets new little leaves. And then when you plant that, it's going to be able to focus on its root development and it's going to be a nice bushy plant. So throughout the summer, those are a couple tips that you want to do. You want to take and make sure you're deadheading properly all the way back to your stem and trimming a little bit over the course of the summer so that your plant stays nice and full and healthy. And also petunias love to be fertilized. Fertilizing them each and every week is a great way to help keep your petunia plants nice and healthy. So one thing we like to teach our customers that buy vegetable plants is how to plant them. So when you take a vegetable plant like a tomato, what we want to do is we want to actually plant them deeper. So a lot of times people will get tall, leggy tomatoes and they think they're no good. But what you can do is you actually pull off any of these little suckers that are in here and you pull off these bottom leaves and you would take and plant it in the dirt up to here. So if you're planting it in a pot, you would just dig a nice deep hole in your pot, plant it up to here. If you're planting it in the garden, you can actually dig a trench, lay it on its side, bury it up to here, and the top part will stand up with the sun. All the little hairs that are on the tomato will actually form into roots. So this tomato will end up having a great root base that will be able to absorb lots of water and lots of nutrients from your soil, in return helping you produce an awesome tomato plant with lots of tomatoes. One thing that I would like people to understand is I have an autoimmune disease called lupus, and one of the things that I have found as a stress relief for my lupus was gardening. And so that's one of the things that we enjoy with the greenhouse is helping others learn and start gardening, first-time gardeners, because playing in the dirt is a great way to relieve stress. It's one of those calming things that you can do. And with my lupus, that's been one of our challenges to operate in a greenhouse because we run long hours. So learning how to run a family business, be a mom, have a husband that works out of province, all these different things, that's one of the challenges that our family faces is learning how to make sure that my lupus stays under control and in remission while we're operating the greenhouse. Gerald and I have 4 kids, Kyril, Sienna, Quaid, and Saley. So they each all play a role in our greenhouse. Our oldest, Kyril, loves the technology part. So he's helped design our website. He's my one I go to for computer issues. Our daughter, Sienna, she loves the animals. So she helps me feed them. She does a lot of the chores, especially now that I have a back injury. She also loves to stock our shelves at the end of the night. Quaid is our one son. He loves his chickens, but he also is an amazing little transplanter and he knows his plants. So if a customer comes to the greenhouse, Quaid is the one you want. He knows his stuff. Our youngest daughter, Saley, is the one that loves to run the cash register. So she is the one that most of the customers see when they first walk in. They're the ones that they see when she walks out. She knows her plants and is amazing at it. She also loves to teach customers how to deadhead their plants properly and look after them. So that has been one of the great things about owning a family-run greenhouse is not only Gerald and I have learned so much about plants, but we have also taught our kids and our younger generation so much about plants. I would say that I just enjoy gardening. I enjoy the animals, and so it's kind of a childhood dream that has become reality. And we would like to thank all of our customers that have supported us over the last 5 years. We really appreciate those who choose to support the local greenhouses. It helps us so that we're able to provide a wide variety of plants and different products that you can't find elsewhere in Estevan. So we would like to say a huge thank you from the Murphy family.